Wake Up with Jim and Sab is exclusively on Spotify.
If you want to start your own podcast, check out anchor.fm. And if you like the podcast, make sure to follow us on Spotify.
For more exclusive fun stuff, check out jimandsab.com.
Share this episode on Instagram or Twitter and tag us so we can feel heard.
Go ahead and give our podcast a 5-star rating on Spotify so we can reach more people.
Yay! Hey everyone! It's just a few days before the new year, and today we are going to be talking all about how to plan for 2023. So it feels a little strange to be making an episode about planning, especially kasi I'm not someone that I would call a planner. Like, if there's any situation where my imposter syndrome rears its big head, it is this time. It's when I'm trying to prepare for something or plan for something. So, the usual thing that goes on in my head, the usual conversation is, bakit ka pa nagpa-plan? Sobrang kalat mo and you're always so far behind. So you could be doing other more important stuff instead of planning. And if you hear similar self-talk in your own head, well, hello, friend. Good to know I'm not alone and you're not alone. Because these thoughts that we have, they're kind of just our background music, diba? Our life's OST. And it's completely normalized. And these thoughts become truths and they become self-actual. To take two, they become self-actualizing. And they start to become our reality. And that really sucks, right? I've talked about this before in my previous life coach sessions over at jimandsab.com. If you have not subscribed, you can do so. And, I always say, our thoughts create our feelings create our actions, and our actions produce our results. So the things that we do, these thoughts that actually predict our future, we've got to go back to our personal self-concept. So what do we think about ourselves? Right? If I keep thinking that I'm a mess or I'm kalat and I'm hopeless, then guess what's going to happen? I'm going to continue being disorganized and I'll just always resent myself for forgetting things and being unprepared. So our concept of ourself is so important to reflect on before we even get into the new year, right? And if there's any time to do it, it's now. Diba lagi tayong gano'n kapag New Year, parang New Year, new me, clean slate. So, before we have a clean slate, we've got to reflect, right? Got to look at what was written. Huwag yung burahin lang yan. We got to check it out. What happened, right? What happened in the past year? What was I thinking about myself? What were my thoughts about myself? And this is going to be so helpful. If there's anything you would do today, it's probably, is it a holiday? I don't know is it a holiday? You're probably on vacation. If you're not, I'm sorry. But if you are on vacation, I feel like, you've got some time, and just take some time, maybe 10 minutes of your day, and just reflect on your thoughts about yourself. Because a lot of times we're not aware of it, but some thoughts that we have about ourselves were planted in our brains by other people, by a parent or an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, an ex-partner, an ex-business partner, maybe, I don't know, a teacher, a friend, or a frenemy. Inception yarn, yes, para siyang Inception. Kasi, like, if your parent mindlessly said, ang kalat-kalat mo talaga when you were a kid, like, palagi nilang sinasabi yun, that thought most likely planted itself in your head and you started believing it. Maybe, yeah, okay, fine. Maybe there was, medyo makalat nga yung room mo, but, hindi man ibig sabihin nun na forever ka nang makalat, right? But if you keep hearing that being drilled into your head for so many times, for so long, or even just once, sometimes it takes just one time, that's going to be planted in your head. And I'm not saying that our parents are the enemy. I mean, obviously they're not perfect, just like us. We're not perfect, but all of that is for another podcast episode, okay? We're not going to go that deep today. So, okay. So now we're aware that not all of our thoughts about ourselves are true, right? Sometimes sinabi lang yan. Sometimes narinig mo lang yan. And then parang isinabuhay mo. Diba? So, yeah, what can we do about it, right? Well, first, we've got to get that thought or those thoughts out of our heads. Specifically, what I'm talking about is the thought that we're not good planners, that we're kalat, we're disorganized. Even if it might be slightly true or very true that we're not organized, we have to assess if this is a helpful thought to have, right? So the thought, ang kalat ko forever. You gotta think, does this thought serve me? No. So let's put that thought in the trash. Okay? It's trash. And then let's try on other helpful thoughts for now. Yeah. So it's like taking off clothing and trying new stuff on, right? So let's try on other helpful thoughts. And you don't have to lie to yourself and think, I'm the most organized person in the world. I mean, you can't do that stuff. You're going to know that shit's not true. So you can start with a more neutral thought. Like, I know what to do. Or, I can make decisions. Right? Because basically, these thoughts are the foundations of organizing and planning, right? I think organizing is all about making decisions. And we organize more efficiently when we make decisions, minus the drama. I'm going to say that again. We organize more efficiently when we make decisions, minus the drama. Yes, I am reading from my notes because I did, say it with me, plan and prepare. Okay, now let's get into the actual planning, okay? So, why do we even need to plan for the new year, right? Why do we have to plan for anything? Well, like Jim always tells me, goals not measured are just dreams. And for me personally, pag hindi ako nagplan ng day ko, or I don't set goals, I end up bouncing from one task to another and so many tasks because bigla na lang magpa-pop in my head yung mga stuff na pwede kong gawin, and there's like just endless possibilities, right? Especially being a mom and everything. So what happens is I keep bouncing from one task to another, not even following through and finishing one task, and then I go on to the next and blah, 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 because I didn't write down my goals. So at the end of the day, I'm feeling so tired and drained, but somehow I feel unfulfilled. It's because I'm not sure what I actually wanted to do for the day, right? So let's not let these goals just be dreams, right? We have to wake up and we have to start getting specific about these goals. Even if it's daily or weekly or like what we're doing, yearly. So here is my my tip. So people plan their years very differently, and I don't know, it's different for everyone. But if you're listening to this podcast, this is something that I'm gonna give a try. I've never done this before, but not exactly like this, but I feel like it's what I'm gonna be doing. Obviously, I'm recording this podcast way before the new year. I'm actually recording this before our trip, and there is a lot of planning going on in my head, especially because it's our first family trip out of the country. Actually, it's our first family trip on a plane, all four of us. And there's a lot of stuff, physical stuff. But it actually would be less stressful if I just minus the drama. Remember? The drama in your head. And so it's been helping me. I'm just like talking to myself and saying, okay, stop it. Just write it down. Write it down. What needs to happen? Okay, here are my goals. I gotta have my bags packed by this date. And little by little, we're pretty much good to go now. I've bought everything we needed to buy. Now it's just about putting it in the bag. But I'm very happy that I took the time to plan. And it didn't even take that long to plan. Sometimes we're all about that drama in our heads na parang, oh my gosh, dami kasi kailangan gawin eh. I don't have time to stop. Girl, if you stop, you're actually going to be more efficient. So stop and set a timer. Because if you can't take 10 minutes out of your 24-hour day, there's something wrong. Diba? Why am I talking like this? But yes, something to consider, okay? Okay, anyway, so here's a fun exercise. How do we even start planning for the year, right? Here's my prompt. Try to visualize your future. Kahit as far out as 3 years from now lang. Doesn't have to be even 5 years, not 10 years. Like, let's not make it too daunting. Ako nahihirapan rin ako sa ganun kasi it's like, oh my gosh, it feels so final. Like, I don't even want to think about myself in 10 years. Jeez. Right? So this works for me, and maybe you guys can try it on for yourselves. 3 years from now, what are you doing? That's, wait lang, 2023, 2024, 2025. Yeah, that's 3 years, right? Or wait lang, yes, okay, so 2025. December 2025. Where are you? And what does it smell like? What's your usual morning routine? Or specifically, so let's say it's December 30, 2025. Like, what did you do in the morning, right? Did you get up early? Are you sleeping in and waking up a little later by choice? Is there a baby waking you up? Are you celebrating your new business's first or second anniversary? Just try to visualize it and dream it, but don't stop there. We're gonna get planning, okay? Don't let your goals just be dreams, okay? Because Jim says goals not measured are just dreams. Okay, so what are the projects that you can do this year that can get you closer to that dream 3 years from now? Okay? Feel free to pause this if you actually want to do the planning as we go along. So that's my first prompt. You gotta visualize your future 3 years from now. What are you doing? Where are you? Are you in a condo? Are you in a house? Are you abroad? Are you, I don't know. You would know. You know it. Go set your goals. Set your goals. All right. And then after you do that, then you can think of all the projects that you can do this year that can get you closer to that dream for yourself in 2025, okay? So just keep writing them down. Again, feel free to pause this if you want to do it along with the episode. Just write them down. And then later on, once you've written them down, you can trim it to just 3 major projects. And make sure this is important, make sure each project has at least one actionable step at all times. Okay? Put it on a post-it or something. Display it in your room. These are your big focus projects for 2023. Okay? So, just for fun, just for shits and giggles, let's do an example. Let's say Lisa, who's 22 years old, visualizes herself 3 years from now finally launching her skincare brand. So she wakes up early in the morning, makes her own coffee, goes for a jog, blah, blah, blah. She's independent, but she enjoys going on dates. She doesn't have kids. Ain't nobody got time for that. Her skincare brand sells out the first batch on launch week because people have been waiting for it for so long. So she's so happy to be the entrepreneur she's always wanted to be. So that's a very short visualization. But when you make your own, try to just keep going. Like make it kahit 3 pages long. Just be as specific as you can get. Because visualizing something, it's like having those those mood boards, those ano tawag doon? Vision, what do you call it? When you naglalagay ka ng mga cut out from magazines and you put it on an illustration board. Dream board? Is that what it's called? Yeah, something like that. So this is just minus the cut and paste factor. But you could also do that. You can even make a Pinterest board. I don't know. Do whatever it works. Do whatever works for you. The way you want to visualize things. But it has to be written somewhere or saved somewhere. Okay? So, all right. So, si Lisa. Go, Lisa. You're going to be a strong, independent entrepreneur in 3 years. So, in order for her to reach this 2025 dream of hers, I would say these would be her goals. Now, I'm not Lisa, so just based off of that example I wrote, I would say that her goals for 2023 would be, number 1 is to formulate at least 3 products. Number 2, it's to collect blank number of email addresses for pre-launch activities. This is so funny. It's like a business planning thing, huh? Sorry, my mind just went there. But, if you want to be like Lisa, an independent, strong woman, it's, I feel like she wants to live and breathe her business. So might as well make her focus goals about that, right? Again, the first goal would be to formulate at least 3 products. So as early as next year, as early as the end of next year, she would have to have formulated at least 3 products, right? And then her second goal would be to collect a certain number of email addresses maybe for pre-launch activities. I don't know. That's what I would do, I guess. And then her third one, because sabi niya, she wants to wake up early in the morning and go for a jog. So she seems very healthy. Diba? So maybe her goal would be to jog for, I don't know, like 120 days. She can quantify it, specify whatever she wants, something measurable. So that's going to be very helpful. Okay? I know I don't have a whiteboard in front of me. There's no video for this podcast. I'm sorry. But yes, stay with me. Now for each goal, there has to be one actionable step. So for formulate at least 3 products, the step for that would be, I don't know, maybe narrow down what products you even want to make, right? So what do you want to make? Do you want to make moisturizer? Do you want to make look at me, I can't think of any other skincare product. Facial cleanser, I don't know. And ano ba? Eye cream, I don't know. Yeah, those I use those. Toner. Yeah, narrow down the products that you think are essential, right? Maybe 3 is just a number I put out there, but you can maybe if you want 5 or whatever. But yeah, the first step to that, because you gotta formulate at least 3 products. You have to specify like what products. Okay, first things first. Let's narrow it down. Okay, boom. All right. So you set a schedule. You set some time to think about it. Maybe do some research about what's most needed in your community, right? All of those things. But you got to put that on your calendar. Okay? Then next, collect blank number of email addresses for pre-launch activities because like she said, she meaning me, like Lisa said, she wanted her first launch week to be sold out. So that means there's a lot of pre-launch stuff happening, right? So what I would say is the first step to that is, well, it's like a mini project under this because there's more steps in it. But I would maybe start posting about my own skincare journey, maybe once a week. I don't know. Again, quantify, specify. How do you want to do it? Do you want to put it on your Instagram? Do you want to make a YouTube channel? Do you want to I I know, do your research. But yes, again, you can't just collect email addresses. You've got to create valuable content that people are going to be more interested to see more of, right? So there, I would say I would trust someone who actually tried on the products themselves and did their analysis and whatever. So if they did that, that would make me wanna. That would make me kind of I would trust that person, right? So yeah, that's something that's aligned with your second goal. So the first goal is about actual creation of the products, right? That's the point. And then the second goal is all about, doing the pre-launch hype. And then the third one is for your own self-care, Trevor. And that's what goal did we set? Oh, we set jog for 120 days. So for me, the next actionable step would be jog 10 minutes 10 times in January, maybe. And then in Feb, maybe 12 minutes. You be the one to quantify, be specific, whatever works for you, what's doable. And, if you like going crazy and like setting crazy impossible goals, then do it. If that doesn't work for you and you like sticking to actual realistic doable goals, then maybe go with that. We're all different people, right? This is just an example of how to plan for your 2023. And this is something that I actually really enjoy doing. And I know I'm not alone. I think you guys are going to enjoy this too. And if this exercise seems fun for you, or, if you've never done a planning exercise before, maybe start with this and then see how it goes for you. And if you want to plan your 2023 together, join our community on gymandsaab.com and talk about it on our Discord server. Okay? Because you're not kalat. Just like me. We're not kalat. And we know exactly what we're supposed to do. Every time you think, I don't know, you've got to rebut yourself. Or aka you've got to make kontra. Kontrahin mo sarili mo. You've got to say, what if I do know? What if I do know? Then what's the next step? I think the next step is to just start. I hope we all have a great 2023. Happy New Year, guys. I love you. Bye.